for whatever, misconduct that happens in your state. That way, the command, the control of the men will be there.
Should this be left for, when one IGP comes in,
No, but
and then you make the policy? Can't it be entrenched in the law?
It's supposed to be entrenched. They are there. It is, it's about management style. All of us have our different management style. Even you, the way maybe you come up with policies that, your organizational policies, the way you come up with the implementation may be different from the other way your other colleagues will come up with it. It's about an individual. So when the things are there, it is when you want to operationalize it, that is where the problem comes from. So we should be able to take, you see, in this country...
Should they be should they be removed from the system completely, and normal police officers, maybe, I think you used to head a section, criminal intelligence bureau,
yes,
at
an
the
investigation
time.
bureau,
Do we still have that? Can't they do the work?
They are supposed to be situated on that. There is supposed to be a commissioner under that department. That is what I was telling you. That when you have these gaps, then the people, the men, sometimes they just have the leverage to go ahead and do. They are supposed, the commissioner of police is supposed to be a department under the deputy inspector general of police, intelligence and investigation. So when they removed it and made it autonomous and say, oh, yeah, the CP is now answerable to the inspector general of police, then the guys, they just, there was no more control. But we also need training too. You also need training.
Do you see some sanity coming
in
the system soon?
Oh yes. Adamu is a deliberate police officer. You could see, he's not excessive. You could see his approach to issues, they are measured. So all we just pray is that, we should be able to support him with, good advice and, strategic plans about how to go about it. I think he should be able to turn this situation around.
I have so many questions bubbling in my head, but let's take this one on state police.
Yeah.
What's your position on that? Wouldn't it help some of these issues?
Yeah, policing is local. From where we got our own policing culture from, the Brits, they have 43 counties. The 43 counties, that they have, is like state police. But then what they do is that they enforce municipal laws. That is laws. Like in Lagos State here now. For example, you have the environmental laws, you have the LASMA. Those are the ones that they are supposed to do. But when it comes to serious crimes, it is always sometimes better because of the trans-border nature of these crimes to handle it centrally. Especially when you are talking about capacity, you are talking about resources, you are talking about training. Even the British police that we're talking about, you will see now that, with insurgency, fraud, corruption and all those things, they have now set up the National Crime Agency. Whereas the USA has set up the Homeland Security. All these are, now, converging into centralized policing. But it is also good to give the local police some authority to exercise some discretion, implement things like community policing, neighborhood. Watch most police forces outside, our jurisdiction, they don't work for more than 8 hours. And you even know that in the public service too,
8 hours
those days, 8 hours, But when you now have a police force, because of the numeric strength, you have to work for maybe 12 hours. And when you're coming from that 12 hours, they are still asking you again to come back for another special duty or something like that. It takes a toll on you. And some people cannot manage stress. And the only way they can manage it is to take solace either in alcohol or drugs. Those are the...
Yeah, but this is affecting the work that they do. It's reducing their competence.
That's what I'm saying, that, it will require some internal re-engineering. That is why we're recommending, their mental health has to be assessed. If a supervisor sees that the worker is already stressed out, why do you have to still put that type of person at, post a person for a duty? So sometimes, the system itself does not encourage good conduct from, their personnel. sometimes we put too much pressure on them. So we must be able to see how we can manage.
What would be the possible solutions to this? Do we need to recruit more police
Oh, yes,
officers?
of course.
And is the funding even available to cater for new recruits?
The funding should be there. If people are, if state governments are advocating for more manpower, how much do you pay a constable? But it is not the numeric strength of the policemen that matters. It is the quality of the policemen that matters. So our recruitment policy has to take into consideration, the qualification of those people. Then why can't the government, invest in security equipment? I give you an example. For this your facility now, if you are going to put up a facility like this, they will say, okay, part of the building plan, must involve you having a CCTV. If you are going to set up a shopping mall or a big, complex housing estate of it, they will say to approve that security plan, there must be a legislation to say that, you must have security. That way, you are now reducing the security space in terms of technology, apart from the physical manpower that you deploy on the street. Deploying physical manpower these days is no longer feasible. It's not good policing policy. You discover that most countries, what they do now is that most crimes, big crimes that have been detected, were they not detected, after it was committed with electronic devices. So the country should invest in that. And, when you are going to recruit policemen, get the best from the market. Why do you have to go for the most stubborn in that family? Why not go for the best in that family?
Good question. All right, let's go back to the question of insurgency again. I want to pick your brains on the Chibok girls issue. It's been 5 years since they were abducted. And then we also have Leah Sharibu. It's now over a year since she's been abducted. A lot of persons are worried that the government is not doing enough to bring back these girls and that the security agencies are not up to par with their responsibility because they should be working with intelligence and ensure that these girls are brought back. So what do you think is the delay about, and is there hope that these girls are even alive?
Well, I will not be able to address that, exhaustively, but I can tell you that intelligence is about prevention. If we had been able to prevent their kidnapping in the first instance, all these ones we are talking about, bringing them back would have been, wouldn't have been important. Now, the period that they've been away has been so long, going to 3, 4, 5 years.
It's 5 years.
Yes, so a lot could have happened since then.
Is there still hope that they're alive? That's the question.
Well, of course, they could be. Some may have died, because of the terrain and under the circumstances under which the insurgency they work. It's possible that some are not alive, but it's not something that one can be categoric about. We only pray that it doesn't happen again, and that if it happens, that our response is more strategic and prompt.
All right, before I let you go, I must ask you about the Police Trust Fund bill that was just recently passed by both houses of Assembly. Will that have any real impact on policing in Nigeria?
Profound and tremendous impact, because what it's meant to do is to pool resources together. In all the countries of the world, in the United Kingdom, for every phone call that you make, for every card that you buy, maybe £5, £10, £20, a pound or two is set aside for security. It's an unseen taxation. You don't see it, but it is there. Those ones are the ones they use in funding police. All those parking, they are giving you parking cars. Then, you have businesses, they contribute maybe 1% of their, annual turnover. So it's going to be a huge pool, of resources for the police. Once it is properly managed, I think it's going to be something that is good. That is one thing that Saraki did, because I remember when he became the Senate president, those were the first set of documents that I sent to him. And this thing has been on ground for close to, how many years now? 2002?
Well, it still has one last hurdle for the president to sign. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming on One-on-One.
I hope you will sign it. You know, it will be, you know, an icing on the cake.
And that's it on One-on-One today. Thank you for being with us. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I certainly did. We'll bring you another interesting conversation subsequently. My name is Felicity Ezewike.
My country people, you do well say you join us inside news for the hour for Plus TV Africa. This one at the Tori them where they make background for this very o'clock. My name is Sylvia Briggs Mba. Aviation Union on Wednesday don't close down the office of the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority (NCAA) for the Lagos Airport for I no go agree against the new organogram where it be say approved for the agency by the federal government. The union joined Air Transport Services Senior Staff Association of Nigeria and the National Union of Air Transport Employees. Others na the Association of Nigeria Aviation Professionals and the National Association of Aircraft Pilots and Engineers. The union blocked the entrance of the NCAA headquarters and their office. They sing one kind of solidarity song. They also can carry placard where we say they write like collapse organogram and structure. Our mumu don't do organogram. They come speak on behalf of the vexing union members. The Deputy General Secretary of ATSSSAN, Francis Akinjale, say this indefinite industrial action say this thing follow the expire of the 7-day ultimatum where we say then give to the management may therefore solve the matter. Oga President Muhammadu Buhari don't show Abuja from Saudi Arabia after he do the Omar Rice Lesser Hajj for inside Mecca. As Buhari new media aide Bashir Ahmed take Putam, he said the president come off from the royal terminal of the King Abdul Aziz International Airport, Jeddah, for Abuja Tuesday afternoon. President Muhammadu Buhari and wife Aisha do the Omar Lesser Hajj for the Masjid Haram, the Grand Mosque, on Saturday. Now, King Salman bin Abdulaziz, when be the Oga of Saudi Arabia and custodian, now tell Buhari making come Saudi on Thursday, will be May 16, 2019, for the two holy mosques to perform the Umrah Lesser pilgrimage inside the kingdom. Oga President Muhammadu Buhari said to fight against drug wuru go stand. He beg every for Niger. May them bring any information when he say then get we go fit help the government. May they for fight this palaver. Malangaba Shehu, the president senior special assistant on media and publicity, for 1 year now he said the president don't talk this on when he received leaders of Nigerian community for Saudi Arabia when he finished the Umrah trip on Tuesday. President Buhari say they do everything made for take fight drug wuru and illegal trade for the country. He can't say everything go well. The president can't beg all Nigeria people say may they no put laws of Nigeria and other countries for their hand. The police when it be say they inside Katsina State don't confirm say 5 people when be the members of the local vigilante 9 bad gang don't kill for inside Faskari local government area on Tuesday. The police public relations officer SP Gambo Issa talk this one for one talk for inside Katsina. He said the killing say it happened for Sabonlai village for the local government area when it be say members of the vigilante group and when they call Yansaki enter inside forest go engage this bad gang for fight. According by him, the bad gang killed vigilante members during the exchange of fire. He said the police searched him will be led by the divisional police officer DPO for the area, can't come out the dead body them, can't see the bad gang their camp inside the forest when it be say the bad guys abandoned. The police talk man say manhunt say he don't start me therefore arrest the bad guys. One 300-level medical student of the Niger Delta University, Amasoma, Southern Ijaw local government area, Bayelsa State, and they say he commit suicide for say he failed to pass in exam. The gather say the student wey name now Zaka Itimi, be when he can't jump enter the Amasoma River, can't sink before help reach him. And some kind source for the university, they say few hours after Ebiwene incident, another student still try to kill himself. Say he run inside commercial Okada where they move fast, but say students can't save and sharp. Ebiwene be student of surgery and medicine for the Faculty of Basic Medical Science, can't decide to kill himself, say this one follow in faith to realize in dream. Then saying that among students wey fail for the results when e be say dem release on Friday. And the school public relations officer Ndoni Ngezi still confirmed this incident. Say they don't get anybody, but say them put am for Sabagiri mortuary. And to join us now inside studio to talk about this suicide palaver, call am copycat syndrome.
Yes.
Say now they cause wetin e be say they happen. Wetin e feel say we fit do to reduce this weather effect wey they talk
Good.
about.
Because what we see now more na copycat suicide. See that boy for Amasoma. One jump inside River B. Second one come one and jump in front of a bicycle where they run. So you see, if he be saying a copycat in do because that one don't happen. Don't forget saying about 50 students for that class fail. So what do we feed do? Now they do now.
No, so
For media, what the media go help people do now today? Tell people these are the things where they go look out for.
as they want to think of suicide.
Pressure now. Everybody do prepare them gang for
So
social
wetin
media.
they see now,
They affect. And not be all of us. Our brain fit take those kind of things. So some of us not even suppose the social media because any little thing where you see they go pain you. So if you know say you in social media not be your thing, they call what they say detox. We suppose from time to time.
No just reason now,
No
just
reason.
forget
Just
am.
throw away social media for one side. Focus. Come reality because now expectations they there. Now false life they there. People they do many things where in real life no be them. So if you take on swallow everything where they there, you don't pressure
but
yourself.
But if you say make some people they suicidal, when you say they still get others where they that kind of similar risks or situation with them no they suicidal. Why you can't say it be like that?
No, as we two of us sit down here, our brain they different. Even if na two of us na twin, Taya and Taiwo, Joe and Akiri, we na two different brain we get. So what if it do you? No fit do me. Me I feel say look, that your problem be that me I go say I not go even think am. So some people go date that suicidal, but the thing we say person where they suicidal now, it don't first they suicidal before. Maybe some people, the reason why they don't go take certain things the way where another people go take them, it don't first happen to them, but they don't weather around. They don't see and say, you know me. Or they feel get better people where they around them where they support them. Yes.
So now, what if you say be the warning sign then where person supposed to see before you go know say okay, need to the close mark this one, the check and waiting be those warning signs.
First thing where people supposed know be say if you know person where know one thing, waiting don't change for that person body. If the person have the person where they talk, you come office, they always they day jovial. All of a sudden, person don't even talk again. Even to even say good morning, if they had the person, those kind of things. If the person they dress anyhow, those kind of things. Maybe the person they dress well before then, they dress. The person go say they resume 8 o'clock, close 5. The person go come set your own time. They come 10. They close 2. Those kinds of small changes. Or the person even they vex any small thing. Person go just they throw away vex. Exactly.
You need to check.
Or person for no reason, person go they cry. Or there's a reason. Person will come they cry past person where in Papa died. So you will not say
that might be they take it as some of the
exactly. So those small things we make you not look and say no man everybody for Nigeria nowhere. It not be like that.
So now what if he advise make person when you be say they for that kind of position, that kind of crisis, or say you get somebody where they think to kill himself, to commit suicide. What if he advise make we do for the person, like for people where they are around the person, where they close to the person?
Make we try to listen to the person to understand the person problem. Make we not listen to tell the person solution, because truly we feel not get solution to the person problem. But if we listen, at least you nod when it is necessary. You encourage the person. You get time. You even feel say, look, this is what they do you. I not be doctor, but it good make you see doctor. You go even help the person book appointment, go the place. Things like that. You go even ask the person, you don't even chop. Small things like that. You never know. Say because person never see food chop. Now be the cause of person. No, just they happy. So small make we they pay attention. Make we they try show love, true concern, true love. They check on people. Not check to do amebo. They show true concern to know how people they because people they suffer.
Okay.
And not make no laugh people.
Okay.
Say, this is what they do you.
Okay.
If you hear my own problem now, my own plenty pass. What you won't be your problem with the discuss. Now my problem. Why you won't come use me? Why you won't give me two problem now? My own plus your own. I'll come to say, oh, my own better pass your own. You can't go away. No. Make you not laugh people. Make you know the type of say, look, oh, this thing God go deal with that, and God is in control. The truth is, say, God they in control of thief. Anybody which God they in control. So make with the type people say, look, that God where we all believe in. Make that God also guide us. Go look for help from the right people, from the right places, and that right time. At that time now.
All right, we thank you so much. Say you can't join us maybe for chook mouth inside this matter, and we hope say the suicide you go reduce for our country. Thank you plenty.
Thank you.
The criminal justice system for Niger now done ready to receive one big boost as civil society organization, the Clean Foundation, wants start to do digital waka for court matter for Obodo the world. The foundation talks say that they launched their technology and web-based platform inside Abuja, and say the platform say it go help promote better, and they go make sure say the administration of criminal justice say it act and live up to their bill.
The ACJA 2015 is a legislation that has brought remarkable reforms of court judgments in Nigeria with a view to promoting accountability and transparency in the fight against corruption.
Now time to take chickeny break now, but no go anywhere. We'll get more story when we come back. The International Committee of the Red Cross plus the Sudanese Red Crescent Society, they give out seed, tools and food to 138,000 people where they face food insecurity for North, South and Central Darfur. Kede Awoloma, will be head of the ICRC delegate for Sudan, explain say these families say that they depend on farming, say that they're among the people for Darfur when they say they suffer and no get plenty food, may therefore go through this kind of bad season. He can't say this one, say they meant to help farmers them for the short term, while the long term go, not to make sure say they undertake agricultural production and keep them so they fit small build their livelihood. Say more than 475 metric tons of seeds will be sorghum, groundnuts, cowpeas, sesame, and faba beans, tomato, eggplant, okra, onion, and watermelon. Say now they don't give to farmers by the ICRC for consultation with the Ministry of Agriculture plus farm tools like donkey plows them. President Cyril Ramaphosa don't talk say they not go swear in South Africa Deputy President David Mabuza today as one lawmaker on Wednesday after a request they made them chief go front and they address allegate when he say he bring the ruling African National Congress ANC to do one kind bege. Ramaphosa when he see the organ of the ANC don't they due to enter power for Wednesday by 400 lawmakers for the Parliament, National Assembly and Lower House when in party take hold the majority. Say then go inaugurate them on Saturday. The ANC win the South Africa for May 8th general election, but say na share of vote and say na waiting they make them the para because they feel say Wuru don't follow for the matter the party use take power. The news continue after the shikini break. Police don't say the deadly riot where it be say here from central Jakarta say na set up incident on Wednesday will be May 22 after at least 6 people die for the civil unrest where it be say a great part of Indonesia capital and no go agree on Tuesday will be May 21. Say by supporters of former General Prabowo Subianto say the challenger for incumbent President Joko Widodo presidency. Say it been start peacefully but it can't turn violent by evening where force police come fire tigers made them for take scatter the crowd. National Police talk person Mahmoud Akbal don't talk say now at least 7 people say they don't hold for say them provoke the riots and say the authorities they check and report them for people who be say wunjo. Pope Francis say he don't pay tribute on Wednesday will be May 22 to Chinese Catholics where be say that they owed to their faiths no matter hardship and they try at them. Say one reference to Beijing tightening restriction on religion where they say then see as challenge to the authority of the ruling Communist Party. You can express in closeness and affection to all the Catholics for China, where they say they face hardship every day and trials, but still continue to believe, hope, and love. Now, waiting for Francis talk as he address thousands of people for St. Peter's Square, Beijing, and say he don't cut diplomatic ties with the Vatican for inside 1951, and say they still remain concerned, say na independent church for China, say if he threaten them authority. Now, dozens of people now they say they don't rescue from flood water them where be say rise and trees will fall for some kind small house them and block roads for Oklahoma. Say a big storm and heavy rain countered the central United States on Tuesday, May 21. Say rescue crew where be say they use boats say they don't pull out of at least 50 people from the water where be say they go up as heavy rain say they don't crash the road and people house them. Say now we say Oklahoma Emergency Management Agency talk person Carly Kane can talk put. And so although they no get reports of any death or serious wounded, say part of the state don't receive 6 to 8 inches them that now of rain and some 4 million people still they under flash flood where be say they don't they warn and they watch for the region according by the National Weather Cylinders to LPG and distributors them on credit so with one prepayment period of 18 months. And they speak for one stakeholders forum for LPG penetration for Abuja on Tuesday. The senior technical assistant to the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources for Downstream and Infrastructure, Brenda Ataga, don't talk say the plan policy on gas cylinders say go need to make the ownership of the facility rest strictly for the dealers and distributors. She say apart from this deep penetration and usage of LPG across the country, say the policy it go also touchlight other matter them of safety. Still to come on Top Plus TV Africa News and our roundup inside entertainment and sport news.
Politics has helped shape the decision of the polity, from conspiracy theories to good old-fashioned comic politics.
These are the result of tomorrow's elections. Okay, you have it already, have you?
I think we've done very well in the very difficult circumstances in which we took over governance.
Plus, politics will fill the polls of the country, from friends to frenemies, even strange bedfellows, to clones and stooges. We go beyond the rhetorics and the drama to analyze the story behind the story.
Let anybody come and say!
The perception in itself does more harm than actual corruption that you have.
Plus Politics, not just another political show. It's about putting you, the citizens, in the know.
Because of cosmetic surgery, when it go wrong, now they say Cardi B no go fit perform for the weekend-long Memorial Day concert when they say they go do for Maryland. Then say the multiple award-winning rapper artist say her body say it don't dey heal for the breast augmentation and liposuction and way be say she do. Before this group, they don't say she go headline the Friday 24th of May 2019 show when it be say they go do for 92Q Spring Bling Festival. According to reports, then they say her case don't really bad when he make the doctor say make she do few weeks of rest and relax. The reunion of the innovative minds behind the movie Bridesmaid don't come out and from the shooting of their new comedy satire when it say they feature Kristen Wiig and Annie Momulo and say they don't call them Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar. This one are because of the anti-abortion legislation bill when it say them pass for the Hollywood-centric state of Georgia. They don't start one domino effect as Emmy director when they know well as the Handmaid's Tale series. Don't see come up body from the shooting, say the supposed first ever film and directed TV show for Georgia State when it be say they call The Power. He say wahala no day as they stop the film as they no go fit use their money to take shoot film for the states. That now our entertainment news, the very best for sports after this one.
You're watching Plus TV Africa, and this is Tea Time.
I loved the energy when I came in here. It was so positive. I was like, I can live here.
My real names are Akbobiofobo, Akborubomemere.
I think my father is a comedian because most times when he calls me, he's like, yo, make sure you use condom, you know, them girls out there.
So are you telling me I should have shot my shots?
Ife, you have a younger brother.
Age is nothing but a number. What? I'm a vampire.
I believe in equal rights for women, and I also believe that a man is the head of the house, so we need to draw our limits somewhere.
It feels so good. Now can I do my jam now?
Yeah, you can.
Thank you.
Chelsea, now say they don't nearly appoint former goalkeeper Peter Cech as their new sporting director when he retired for the summer. The Arsenal goalkeeper say he don't set to play in last football match for the Europa League final against his former club Chelsea, and say they set to head back to Stamford Bridge after that one. And say he don't do the deal, Peter Cech will be Chelsea first sporting director since Michael Emenalo for inside 2017. Say although no clear waiting Peter Cech as that responsibility go be, say but they expect say may involve for inside recruitment as well as to act as bridge between the board and the manager. The 37-year-old, they likely to work alongside other Chelsea legends them, such like John Terry and Frank Lampard. As Chelsea, they look to get their golden generation, made therefore they involved for the affairs of the club. Fans across the world don't vote Olympic Lionel striker Adaye Bagej as the 2018 BBC Women Footballer of the Year. Say the award it comes 4 days after Bagej scored one hat-trick for the UEFA Women's Championship League for the final against Barcelona, as she don't lead there on to 1/4 successive title. Wolfsburg Danish striker Pernille Ada 9 finished second, while Chicago Red Star Australian forward Sam Kerr 9 carry third. So now the second time where the Norwegian go win the award after when we say then claim am for inside 2017. Bagej don't score one remarkable 53 goals for inside Lyon for all competition inside 2017 Wakago 2018 season. When we say include one record 15 goals for the Champions League, as a club been leave the Division 1 feminine and European titles. The 20-year-old been scored 29 goals for inside 33 games as Lyon win the treble, the French League title, French Cup and European trophy. Wanna do well that now the join Tori way we say we get on top this o'clock. But for more better information, I bet may you go follow us for Plus TV Africa on top Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And it go make sense if you subscribe for our YouTube page at Plus TV Africa. We'll go see jam later with more Tori them. Maybe say they do baga inside Obodo Nigeria and Obodo the world. Don't forget to join us. My name is Sylvia Briggs Mba. Make on enjoy on a day.
Welcome to The Advocate, a program that thrashes out all the topical issues of the day.
When you are in government, you don't see nothing wrong with whatever is happening. The moment you are out there, everything is wrong.
You can't even see many women now, and when they're there, they're not even really making a mark, and then they have an NYSC problem and this and that.
One of the reasons why we don't have more women in politics in Nigeria is for as long as political meetings continue to take place in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
No, really. It's disastrous for a president
to even say
be unaware of the chief
It's
justice.
a ploy. It could be a strategy.
That strategy was very terrible strategy. Because the buck stops at your table.
Whether it's that we don't look after our cities, and quite frankly, Nigeria is becoming a very ugly place.
When you are the only one feeding the people with this news, and there is nobody countering them, it becomes, you know, the news.
This is it for upcoming artists to blow in Nigeria.
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Buki November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's Tea Time on Plus TV Africa.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
Politics has helped shape the decision of the polity, from conspiracy theories to good old-fashioned comic politics.
These are the results of tomorrow's election. Okay, you have it already, have you?
I think we've done very well in the very difficult circumstances in which we took over governance.
Plus, politics will fill the polls of the country, from friends to frenemies, even strange bedfellows, to clones and stooges. We go beyond the rhetorics and the drama to analyze the story behind the story.
Let anybody come and say! The perception in itself does more harm than actual corruption that you have.
Plus Politics, not just another political show. It's about putting you, the citizens, in the know.
This TV station, Plus TV Africa, is designed to help to create a paradigm shift. But the more we tell our stories, the more we learn from whatever our past mistakes have been.
We can be much more than we are. We should be doing a lot in refineries.
And we are definitely investing in our staff. We're training, we're developing, we're creating the kind of workforce that will be the envy of the international broadcast. The quality of the reportage, the quality of our presentation, the quality of our production will be obvious. We're saying that we want to reach Africans wherever they are and get the message across to them. That's what Plus TV Africa is all about.
Hello and welcome to Africa on the Move in partnership with DW. On today's show, we'll be focusing on children in Africa, from the children in the slums to saving babies from HIV to former child soldiers and child slaves. Now, Africa's child population is projected to increase by 170 million between now and 2030, taking the number of the continent under 18 to 750 million. But how is Africa investing in its young? We start from Nigeria, where Isaac Omoyele believes every child in the slum should go to school. Let's take a look at Isaac's project in Lagos.
The word success is part of his name, and Isaac Success Omoyele has high aspirations. He's determined to make a better life for young people living in slums in Africa. More than 9 million children in Nigeria don't go to primary school. Isaac wants to change that through his Dreams from the Slum initiative.
We strongly believe that they may be born in the slum, but the slum is not born in them. We believe that the children in this community and every child has a future, every child has a dream, and there's something inside of them. It just depends on everyone to believe in it or to connect.
Isaac grew up poor himself, but through hard work and determination, he won a scholarship and got an education. Now he raises funds from private donors, NGOs and foundations so that children living in slums have the chance to go to primary school.
Growing up was very, very tough for me. I knew how it felt like as a child not to have basic school materials. I knew how it felt like as a child to go to school without eating on empty stomach. this inspired me, this motivated me. You know, I said to myself that I could do something also to help other children in the same community where I grew up from.
Isaac's initiative also supports internally displaced people in Nigeria. With financial assistance from the charity the International Coalition for the Eradication of Hunger and Abuse, it helps individuals and families build new lives and makes it possible for children to get an education. We had to flee from our village and come down to Lagos because of Boko Haram. We're grateful to Brother Isaac for all the help we've been getting, teaching our children, sometimes donating books so our children can go to school and get educated. Teenage pregnancy is a widespread problem in Nigeria, and unmarried mothers are often ostracized from society. Isaac believes that everyone deserves a second chance. His Teenage Mothers Academy helps empower these women through mentorship and skill teaching.
We have professionals in different fields that would counsel you and advise you rightly so that you can become your dreams. So the fact that you have a very beautiful baby now does not mean you cannot become whatever you still want to become. You can still be a successful lawyer, you can still be a successful businesswoman, you can still be successful at every field. 2, 3.
The first lesson for the young women is for them to learn to believe in themselves.
Awesome. Thank you. Abdulaziz, what do you want to become in future? Doctor. He says he wants to become a doctor, and I believe that dream is so possible, and that is why we are making access to education.
Since he founded his initiative in 2013, the social activist and child advocate has made it possible for at least 50 children a year to get an education they otherwise wouldn't have had access to. And he dreams that one day every child born in a slum will have that chance.
Malema, Malema. Oh, yeah, come now. Hey, hey, hey.
Now he's ambitious, from helping children in the slum to pregnant teenagers and helping displaced Boko Haram victims. Now we head to Ghana. A former child slave starts a school for children slaves in Ghana.
Always dreaded most was diving to remove trap nets. And I was trapped so many times, I am just lucky that I survived.
James was 13